this position, that position. Don't you feel like you get to a point in your life where there's something more than that?
That's
Don't you
saying.
feel like, and maybe I'm going to sound like a romantic, don't you feel like you get to a position in your life where you'd rather have a girl who you truly love and she truly loves you, and it doesn't matter what she does because you know she really loves you and she's trying her best?
Where are those hats? The cap
I know she's shaking I know she's shaking her head. But I'm serious. I'm serious. If you sleep with enough women, just like if you sleep with enough men, there's no move. Sex is not a complicated operation, all right? There's no move that's going to be like, wow, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before, and my mind is blown.
No, like just
if you think the way you keep a man happy is to move your pussy in a particular way on top of his dick, as opposed to behave in a way which is respectful to him out in the real world, and for him to know he has you and your loyalty regardless of what's going to come up, all the problems he's going to come into in his life, then you're wrong. So the whole point of sex is a connection between two people, and I think having a genuine connection between two people is worth more than the sex. So her question was, what can a woman do to truly blow your mind in the bedroom? You'll blow my mind outside of the bedroom, in a relationship as a whole. That's the truth. That's the truth. Wouldn't you rather have a girlfriend who truly loves you, is absolutely loyal to you, like no matter what happens, she's going to be there for you. You can catch a case 6 months, she's outside waiting for you. She can't take right, whatever, but she tries her very, very best to the poor thing, and she wants to satisfy you, and you know she cares about you. Wouldn't you be like, well, I don't care that she can't take dick, because that's actually a quality woman, which is rare in the world today. But I am genuinely uninterested in sleeping with a woman who I don't have a connection with. If a girl said to me, I don't love you at all, I don't feel anything for you at all, I don't want to sleep with you, but I will, I would say no. The sex act in and of itself is okay. If you had sex, we've all had sex, right? Do you really need to somebody who doesn't give a shit about you at all? We live in a world now, right, where we have a lot of narratives which are being broken down and destroyed in real time. And I think it's very, very healthy for men and women to look at sex as an act that happens between people who at least like each other. The idea that I don't like them at all, but as long as they can suck dick this way, then it's okay. I don't give a right? If a girl genuinely loves me with all her heart, and gives me a fucking terrible blowjob, I'm still gonna be like, well, you love me, I love you, it is what it is. Life's more important than blowjobs and fucking blowing your load.
What if it's
this is the truth. And if it's not love, let me tell you something. Women are the gatekeepers, not men. If it's not love, you shouldn't be f***ing anyway. This is the reality of the world. Just because the modern world told you different, you shouldn't be f***ing any man you don't love. That's the first thing. You shouldn't be sleeping with him. No, but it's true.
You're right, because because the intimacy, whatever however you say it, intimacy, whatever is not there, you will feel it.
But
looking at that from just from that angle, there are times I guess I'll relate it to the sex work. There are times where I meet somebody and they're real nasty to me. Like in person, they're not nice. They say things. And like he said, the gatekeeper, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's best you see another girl because I don't want to see you. And in that sense, yes, I agree that like you want to be with someone sexually that cares about you, that at least nice to you. Like I had one guy that was insulting me like the whole time, and I just was like, this guy's nasty. I don't want him, and I just gave him to somebody else. Your reaction?
I mean, yeah, he's saying that he wants to have a romantic connection or a genuine connection with somebody. I mean, isn't that what we all want?
But the context of the clip is, well, if a girl is sexually experienced, say she's either virgin or maybe she's only been with one guy, there's this trope that a woman who has a low body count, that translates to she's going to be bad in bed. Or if she's a virgin, she's going to be bad in bed. But
he acknowledges her trying, though. He says, hey, she's trying. Yeah. She's trying. I was like, hey, her heart's there. She's trying, man.
You can always teach, right? I mean, I think that the best part about two inexperienced people being together is that you learn together. I think that's really fulfilling, and I'm sure that after a couple of years, like, it's probably the best sex of your life. Right?
It's also the most
not
beautiful
even a couple
thing.
Of years. Not even a couple.
I don't
of years.
think it would take that long.
If you're trying, you're practicing every day, you're getting your lessons in. Maybe it's
that's what an honorable man that actually wants a wife will be able to teach those things. And even if he's sexually inexperienced and she's sexually inexperienced, that's like the beauty of a relationship, is that when you do love one another, you're creating that emotional connection with them to then continue the relationship, and it will, and you'll see improvement, and you get to teach each other what you like and don't like. You don't need experience to tell them, oh, I like it done to me this way or that way, when you get to learn that with each other and continue to explore.
By experience, By
Fireworks.
experience, I didn't mean like sexual experience, like particular, like like what moves do you like? I mean, that's obviously like teachable and whatever. That's between two parts. I'm talking about like just experience with relationships in general. I want to really like
not sexual experience.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just so we have that clear, I was not talking about like, oh, I like it this way and whatever.
Well, okay,
yeah.
but I mean, I've certainly heard that as a rebuttal to men preferring women who... she's not
better than the girls. Yeah. Oh God, no.
No, but I've definitely heard that. Like, if a guy's like, I prefer a girl with a low body count, and they're trying to argue, body count doesn't matter. It's like, what about the Gluck 9000?
Right. I kind of want to wrap this. I mean, what I want to kind of make a conclusion for myself just on this whole topic is I feel like women who have a low body count want to feel like, oh, I'm more valuable and I'm better than a girl that has a high body count. And I feel like sometimes women with a high body count are trying to be like, oh, well, I'm better because I could do X, Y, Z in bed better than you. And I think both of those takes are like absolutely horrible. I think there's no one's better than the other. I think that if you don't, if you have a low body count, that's fine. If you have a high body count, that's fine. That's my point. It doesn't matter either way. When I was talking about experience, I meant more just like relationship experience and like what you want and don't want in your partner, like as a whole, not as in bed.
But you said that body count is irrelevant and that men are weird for wanting young virgins.
Well, yes, young virgins. I mean, look, and I think it's strange, and I think that you should expect to be with somebody with the same like morals as you. Like, if you're a guy who's slept with a bunch of women, then you're weird. You're like a hypocrite for wanting a virgin, and I think we can agree on that.
Oh,
right?
I 100% agree on that. Yeah.
Well,
and that's all I said.
Hot take here.
You disagree?
Well, I think as a guy, if you're, let's say you have a high body count as a guy, I think it's perfectly reasonable for you to prefer to date women with a low body count.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
But those women don't have to date you because you have a high body count.
What do you mean?
Like,
no, nobody has to date anybody.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's reasonable. You're allowed to have a preference on absolutely anything. There's no one saying you can't have a preference on like anything. But I think it's kind of...
You think it's a double standard?
I think it's not necessarily a double standard. I think it might be kind of unrealistic. Like, if a man came up to me and was like, oh, I like that you're a virgin, and he has 300 bodies, I'm going to be like,
yeah,
good
no.
No. And I think most women who are saving them, I don't like that term, but saving themselves would agree. Like, you probably want someone who's,
There are, that may very well be the case, but there's definitely women who, I think generally speaking, women care maybe a little bit less, or quite a bit less when it comes to their,
And it is, I don't know if I necessarily like agree with that standard, but like I've definitely hung out with or gone on dates with guys who have, in my opinion, a relatively high body count. And as much as I'm willing to forgive it, I wouldn't sleep with them, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You would?
I would not sleep with them.
Would not because they have a high body count.
Yeah, and honestly, what's high for a man, in my opinion, is probably not the same as what's high for a woman, in my opinion, which is biased, but just logically and realistically, that's how it works.
But you think it's kind of like hypocritical, kind of double standard? Like if a guy with a high body count wants a girl with a low body count, or...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a double standard. I just think it's hypocritical. I think that if you maybe I guess double standard is the right word for it. I just feel like if you expect your partner to have certain morals, then you should have those same morals as well. So yes, I guess it is.
Well, I mean, my rebuttal to that is, does there need to be perfect reciprocity?
No.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is, does there need to be perfect equivalent between what the two part? Like, for example, can we all agree, like, a lot of women would be very attracted to like a very wealthy man?
Yeah.
Yes.
In order for her to be attracted to him, does she too also need to be wealthy?
No.
Or what about a man who's tall? Need she also be tall to be attracted to a man who's tall? Or what about a guy who's funny? Need a woman be funny herself to be attracted to a man who's funny?
But I think
so people desire.
You have to be funny.
No, but people desire traits in their partner that they do not necessarily possess themselves. Mm-hmm. So in this case, a man who has a high body count, I think he may very well desire a woman with a low body count because a low body count is a desirable thing. So despite
he's desire like morals, I'm talking about like just having like the same morals, because like sense of humor is not a moral, height is not a moral. Body count or the amount of the sex,
but maybe he's changed. Maybe he had a hoe phase.
Maybe she had a hoe phase.
Yeah,
True,
I definitely.
But he could still have a preference. Maybe he had a hoe phase.
I mean,
you're
allowed to have more likely to be psychologically affected by it.
Yeah, like that actually is not true. And I know it's study. It's the same for men and women. Yeah,
look up Helen Fisher.
Statistically, when a man has she actually showed me this. When a man has a higher body count, it does drive up divorce rates and stuff. But psychologically speaking, orgasm is an oxytocin release for women and a dopamine release for men, and that is the facts. It is psychology, it is your brain, it is your biology, and you cannot deny that.
I don't understand why you're trying to dispute things that we have multiple studies on.
So long. I just feel like I'm like repeating myself a lot. I feel like y'all are
because you will not
accept
you will not accept that we are telling you science.
Okay, but I would like to know. Sorry, I don't know.
You're good. Go.
I would like to know how you're disputing. We're giving you science, and you're disputing it by saying no, that's not true.
It's not like we're giving you opinions
without providing any nuance to your take.
It's also easy to say like body count shouldn't matter because people with higher body counts and lower body counts value sex very differently.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. It's obviously a very different moral standing.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I made all my points. We're going around in circles.
And to like take on like what you said, I feel like you're allowed to desire and have preferences. It's just like the things you listed, like personality traits are so much different than purity.
But the whole argument is, well, a guy with a high body count, he shouldn't want a woman. He should match up with a woman who also has a high body count because that's fair. But it's like, okay, well, both men and women, we're not the same. Like we desire certain characteristics that we ourselves do not possess. For example, if you're a super masculine guy, need you date a super masculine woman, or can you be attracted, shocker, to a woman who's more feminine?
No, I agree with that, because then a woman can also prefer to have a man with a lower body count just the same, even if she had a higher body count.
I also think body count also doesn't have to matter so much. I mean, Matt and I literally never talked about it once until we started watching.
Is he still in the chat?
Probably. He's probably there. I don't know.
Hold on, Matt. You find out that your fiance over here, she reveals to you. Did you guys ever talk about it?
Yeah, like after we watched your show like 5 times.
But prior to watching our show, you guys never disclosed to each other.
Even once.
Did he share his body count? I don't know if you want to share it, but
it was like higher than mine for sure.
You said you were like 14.
I think it was like above 30 though for sure.
You said you were.
Yeah.
What? His name's Matt, right?
Yeah.
Matt. What is he calling you? Ooga booga? What was?
Boobaloo.
Matt. Boobala?
Yeah.
Okay. She reveals that her body count is 300. Is the wedding off, dude? Come on, be honest. Let us know in the chat.